Here we go. We are live right now. Okay. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hi, Brandon. How are you? Hi, Ricky, Pickle, Hustler. How is everyone? Anyone needs help with anyone needs help selling anything, just send me an invite. I will help you out. Okay, yeah, 11 years of GTA Online. Wow, can you believe it, right? GTA Online is older than some people who play GTA Online. Send you an invite. Okay, we look. Oh, there it is, Brandon. I'm 24 years old. It makes me sad that I'm getting old. Hey, enjoy your 20s, dude. 20s were some of the best times of my life, though. It's I just turned 30 earlier this year, but 20s for me were great. Hey, Mustang. My channel, I would form this channel in 2015. What did you do in your 20s? My earlier 20s, like, were kind of sucked. But it was, like, when, like, I would say, like, 2018, 2019, were some really great years, and I had a lot of fun with those. Channel really started growing. Oh, we have a, oh, there's a YouTuber. Hey, will we get a Red Dead Redemption livestream soon? Hey, Kieri? If I'm reading your name correctly, how are you, man? Hold on, Kieri. I will, I'm also gonna be doing a Red Dead stream next week. And also probably continue Infinite Mode on Dead Rising as well. Probably do that, too. The anniversary was last week. I know, it was just 5 days ago, but, I was like, it's still, like, 11 years since GTA Online was, made, so I wanted to do something for it, this week. Hey, Professional, I'm taking another chance, really hope that this goes well, man. Okay, Orion. GTA 6 will be coming out next year, so... Also, GTA 6, I will tell you guys this, is gonna be like, it's gonna come out like exactly 1 year from now. So like about a year. Because GTA 6 is probably gonna come out like September, October, November next year. It's probably when it's gonna come out. Oh, where did I go? Oh, I should have just cut across there. Oh, whatever. Oh, this is PS5 I'm playing on. I could probably help you later, Pierston. Hey, Golden Stripe. Yeah, if we have time, I can help as many people as possible with their heists. I'm excited for Black Ops 6, but I'm in a bit of a rush because I'm going to want to try to finish some of my playthroughs and World at War before Black Ops 6 comes out. Oh, thank you, Alex, Alex Villager. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks, man. Is Good Old Games GOG a safe site to buy from? I've heard about that website, but I don't know much about them, Suspect 13. GOG, I'm trying to remember. I think, do you guys, anybody here in the comments know anything about GOG? Is it a safe site? Suspect 13 wants to know. Good Old Games, GOG. What is that exactly? Yeah, I'm pissed about that 7-day survivor. I messed up. Like, I was right at the end there. I only had 6 in-game hours left, and I died. I was pissed. Pat, would you help me sell it to Brandon? I could, Mark. Hey, Sherwin. What's up, man? Hey man, sorry this isn't much, but happy 11-year anniversary, buddy. Keep up the helpful tips in GTA gameplay. You've helped me so much. Thank you, Avlon Gaming. If I'm reading Skeleton or Skevlon Gaming, I'm sorry if I'm not reading your name correctly, but thank you for the super chat, dude. And don't apologize. I always appreciate any amount. So any amount, I always appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yes, I'm gonna review the PS5 Pro. I'll probably give it a review. I was thinking whether I should do it or not, but I was thinking that probably a lot of people probably would like to see the review and my thoughts on it, so I'll probably do a review on it. Even if I, waste, some money buying it, I'll probably, do a review to warn people if there's anything bad about it. And hey Patrick, are you planning on doing Mafia 3 playthrough in the near future? Also, my birthday's tomorrow. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you, Axel Cordova. Happy birthday. And yes, I will do Mafia 3, but before I do Mafia 3, I'll do Mafia 1, Definitive Edition, Mafia 2, and then Mafia 3. And thank you, Alex Merch. GOG is owned by CD Projekt Red, so it's legit. Okay. Thank you, Alex. And which type of lawyer role do you think is the biggest scumbag, who only cares about money instead of their clients? Well, it's not just the lawyers who care about money aren't the only lawyers that are scumbags. There's other lawyers that I will say will defend people that they know are clearly guilty. Like, clearly guilty, clearly scumbags. Like, I could never defend somebody that was, like, a scumbag. Like, if I was, defending somebody, it would have to be somebody I truly believe in, somebody that I think has been wronged. Not, I cannot, I could not in good conscience defend somebody that's, like, a scumbag. And you want to know something? There was this YouTube channel I got recommended, like, a couple months back, and it was, like, a lawyer channel. I don't remember the name of the lawyer, but, it's not by Law by Mike, or Ugo, because both of those channels are good. Both of those are great lawyer channels. This is like another lawyer channel. I don't even remember the name, but basically, like, he uploaded like a video in which he said in the video why I love yellow paint. And it was like one of the stupidest like videos I've ever seen. And he basically said, he's like, I love yellow paint because people paint yellow paint like where there's cracks in the sidewalk, and then that means like I can sue them and like we can get like a win and stuff like that. And like I was like looking at the comments and like people were like, wow, you're just because he was like just talking about how much he loves lawsuits and stuff like that. And that's one thing that I that's one thing that I hate about the laws in America. One thing that I hate in my country, I don't know how it is in other countries, but no, it wasn't legal. It was another guy. So what the guy was doing is he was bragging about the fact that he liked yellow paint, because a lot of people, what people will do is they'll paint the sidewalk yellow where there's like cracks to like warn people that there's like a crack in the sidewalk. But what happens if somebody trips over that crack, even if there's yellow paint to warn, they can still sue because the person didn't get the crack filled. And what I will say about that, this is why I hate the law in this regard, because in America, you don't own the sidewalk in front of your house. So the sidewalk that's in front of your house, you don't own it. But even though you don't own it, you're responsible for it. So how does that make any sense? If you don't own the sidewalk that's in front of your house, but you're responsible for it, that's kind of stupid. If you don't own the sidewalk, the government should be responsible for fixing it, not you. It shouldn't be the you that should be. So basically is if you if there's like a crack on your sidewalk, even if it's like an obvious like crack, like, you know, something that people could see from like a distance, and somebody trips on it, they could sue you. So that's what's ridiculous about the you know, cracks in the sidewalk. So just keep that in mind, guys, that if there's like something wrong with the sidewalk in front of your house, people can sue you. And that's what I will say about that, is that that's so stupid that you don't own the sidewalk in front of your house, but yet you're responsible for it. That's what's so dumb. Your home insurance will pay for that first of all, and for a libertarian, you seem to like the government paying for stuff. Well, not all home insurance will pay for that, and secondly is libertarians believe that there is purpose to government. They believe that there is, you know, certain purposes to government. You know, for example, is you know, protecting the border and also some infrastructure. That's what but other things libertarians are against, like, you know, government being involved and stuff like that. But that would not be up to the federal government. That would be up to the state government. So, like, the state government cannot force you to own a piece of property or take care of a piece of property that is not yours. So, in effect, that's kind of big government if you have a government that's forcing you to take care of the sidewalk when it's not even your property, technically. So that's what I'll say about that. Any crazy current event videos soon? I don't know. If there's a crazy current event video that you want me to cover, guys, let me know in the comments, but I haven't thought of anything recently. No, I haven't seen his video on Poland. What are my thoughts on the Alec Baldwin shooting? I think he's guilty. I think he is responsible because, rule number one of gun safety is that you always check if the firearm is loaded. You don't rely on other people, and just because you're an actor doesn't mean that you can get away with something like that. That's what I'll say about that. And Alec Baldwin wasn't just an actor, he was also a producer. So he was responsible for the set as well. So I would hold him responsible, personally. Two months and going. Enjoy the content so much, bro. Thanks for putting so much hard work in your videos. Thank you, somebody32. Thanks, man. A Boston lore video about the Revolutionary War. When I play through Assassin's Creed 3, I'll talk about that. Boston and the Revolutionary War when I get to Assassin's Creed 3. I just don't know when I'll get that playthrough done, but I'll play it one day and I'll talk about that. But yeah, I will tell you the sidewalk, like, the sidewalk laws in, like, a lot of states are just insane. I remember that, a number of years ago, there was, in front of my parents' house, there was a crack that formed on the sidewalk right in front of my parents' house. And this crack, it's impossible to trip on. It's physically impossible. Like, there's no way that somebody could trip on it. Like, it was just like a crack in the sidewalk that just came up. But anyways, about this is, my mom is a bit of a perfectionist, and she likes everything just having perfect, organized. And so my mom got really pissed about that crack, and it was bothering her, and she, you know, told me to call up the county, and tell them to, you know, send somebody over to fix the crack in the sidewalk. And I told my mom, I don't think that this is a good idea because, like, you know, you don't know what's gonna come out of this, you know, if you report this. But, you know, she's like, no, just call them up, and I called them up, and do you know what ended up happening? When I reported that crack, they told me that I'm responsible for it, and they told me that I have, like, 60 days or so to get the crack fixed, or I'm gonna get fined. So now I had to, you know, pay for it and, you know, get it done. And I hired, like, a contractor, and he fixed the crack, he got it all done, but then the story doesn't end there. I find out that I needed a permit before I hired the contractor. So before I hired the contractor, I needed to have a permit. But I hired him without even realizing I needed a permit in the first place, because New York State told me I needed, like, you know, 60 days to do it. And so I had the guy do it without a permit. And then what I ended up doing is I got the permit, but I didn't tell them that I had the work already done, because then I would have gotten even more trouble. And then it was just, you know, that was just it. It was over. It was done. But that was a ridiculous situation. That's like a government bureaucracy right there. That's well, when it comes to crazy current events, I don't want to cover other YouTube channels. I don't, because I don't want to get involved in drama with other creators. That's just why I don't, you know, I stay away from that. But if it's like some ridiculous story about like a Karen or some gaming news or something like that, I'll cover it. Fallout 4, I might play it one day. Maybe one day I'll play it. I am British, but my wife is Polish. She told me the story of Witold Pilecki. Are you aware of this story? It's incredible. Yes. Witold, and I'm pretty sure I know the guy you're talking about. He was the Polish resistance fighter that went undercover in a concentration camp. Let me make sure that we're talking about the same guy, but I'm pretty sure we are. Yes, we are. Okay, yes. So, about him is he went undercover in a concentration camp. I think that he went undercover in Auschwitz. That's, I think, what he did. So he became a prisoner on purpose, just so he could report on what had happened there, what was going on there. And then he ended up escaping. He reported to the West what was going on, how the Nazis were committing the Holocaust. But the worst thing about his story is that after World War II, he was actually tried by the Soviets. The Soviets arrested him. They accused him of anti-communist activities, and he was executed. So he was like, he was a, you know, one of the biggest heroes in Polish history, and he's a very tragic figure of what happened. That was a dumb... No, it wasn't, because he was ready to sacrifice himself. He was a very selfless person. He wanted to, you know, go undercover and find out exactly what was going on, and, you know, to voluntarily go to a concentration camp, so become a prisoner so that you could gain information. That guy's brave. Like, he has, you know, the amount of guts that guy has just is, you know, through the roof. There are very few people in the world that have, like, you know, the guts that he did. But Alex, what I'll tell you, Alex, is that show your wife my series my series on 63 days, because I think that she'll like that. She'll enjoy it. It's a game that recently came out. I actually made a video about it today, and it explains a lot of Polish history. It's about the Warsaw Uprising, and it's made by a Polish developer, and all of the characters, you can have them speak Polish, so they'll speak Polish, and they will, you know, there's Polish dubbing, but there's English subtitles, so I think that she'll, you know, like that, and you'll probably like the series too as well. So it shows World War II from the Polish perspective, and it's actually a really, really good job. When's the next lore video for any GTA? I don't know yet. Rising. I might make a lore video on yeah, I might make a lore video on Wade. That's what I was thinking of doing. Oh, crap. Yeah, people took all the vehicles, so now I can't do anything. Okay, I'll just wait here. She told me you're very educated when it comes to history and you have a big following in Poland. Oh, thank you, Alex. How long do you plan on doing YouTube for? As long as I can? Not really, Gunner, but, I will tell you one, I will tell you one story that I had once, when I played Battlefield 3 back in the day. I joined this one server on Battlefield 3, and in that server, the rules, the admin rules when you join the server says no jet ramming. And what jet ramming basically is when you take your jet and you fly it into helicopters to, to blow them up. And even though the rules said no jet ramming, I started flying around in a helicopter, and I got a bunch of kills. And guess what? I got jet rammed. Somebody flew their jet into me and blew me up. And guess who did it? The admin. So even though the admin rules were no jet ramming, the admin decided to jet ram me and blew me up and blew up my helicopter. I got really pissed off, and when the admin was flying a helicopter, I jet rammed him and blew him up, and then he banned me from the server. So that's one of the times I did jet ram, but that was like a annoying experience I dealt with. There was a streamer called Jack Doherty today who crashed his McLaren supercar in the rain, speeding, texting, and streaming at the same time. It's trending on X right now. I actually had that come up in my feed on X, but I didn't take a look at it at all. I just ignored it. And I'll say about that. That's that scumbag YouTube prankster, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the YouTube prankster who does all the scummy pranks. That's Jack Doherty. Am I right on that? That's him. But not only that, he's a creep. Well, I'm not surprised. No, I haven't, Aiden. Why was he dropped from Kick? Did he do something else? You said he crashed his car? Hey, Pro, a year ago, I got caught, watching one of your videos in my class, but I got suspended for accidentally, chucking a chair at a teacher. Sorry, what? Well, thank you for the super chat, but why would you do that? That's, what? Okay, I'm just generally lost for words. I have no words right now. He streamed himself reading chat while speeding in the rain. And so he was banned off of Kick for that? Jack hydroplaned, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that when there's more, when you're driving on water, not on land? Isn't that what that is? When there's too much water that you're driving more on water than land? Isn't that what that is? I'm not a car guy, so I'm just... So he got permanently banned off of Kick? He's permanently banned? Can you show us your career progress? Sure. I haven't really done a lot of career progress. I haven't. I don't really follow it much. Yeah, so see here, I don't really do much of the career stuff. I don't go crazy with it. I can maybe help people with heists later, but I mean, like, XT, I don't know, if you're trolling or what's going on, but don't do stuff like that. Don't What, did I just hit something? Don't, I think I hit a bird, yep. Don't do stuff like that. That's horrible. Wait, what menace? Wait, what did you say? Yeah, Rooftop Rumble was the most abused one. I remember that too. I will probably, on Halloween, what I'll probably do is I'll probably play that game, Fears to Fathom. That's probably what I'll play on Halloween. People wanted me to play that game, I'll probably play it. I'll probably get a heart attack playing the game, but that's... I've played Left 4 Dead 2, definitely, yes. You should be proud that you don't use Reddit, because people are constantly repost if you like. No, well, yeah, a lot of people on Reddit are creeps. You know, there's a lot of, you know, bad, disturbing stuff on there. I don't like using all of these, you know, sites. Like, you know, the only thing I'll use is like Twitter and YouTube. That's it. I was gonna play the, what was it, I'm a landlord, I own 2 rental properties, and, people told me that I should play the landlord, case in, Fears to Fathom, like the landlord episode, and I was asking people what the landlord episode was. That's what people kept telling me, play the landlord episode, but it was like, they told me that it was like Fears to Fathom, and then they said, Woodbury, or Wood something. That was the one, but people kept telling me to play that one. They wanted to see my reaction to it. I'm gonna play World at War this month. This month we'll play it. Woodbury Getaway, that's it. Oh, was it Aiden? You shouldn't be throwing chairs at anyone, dude. It's like, you should not be doing anything like that. What are your views on Churchill? There have been a lot of discussion on this topic lately. Thank you, Alex. So yeah, last time people kept telling me that there was this guy that was like on the internet that he was like going viral for like, you know, talking about Churchill, and I watched like 20 minutes of what the guy was saying, and I'm gonna tell you, most of what that guy was saying was just pure nonsense. It was just, you know, stupidity, you know, dumb crap that the guy was saying. Now look, when it comes to Winston Churchill, you know, Winston Churchill did do bad things. Like, you know, he screwed over, like, you know, Poland after, you know, World War II. You know, he, you know, cut contact with the Polish government in exile. He also, you know, a lot of people blame him also for the famine that happened in India. He was a, you know, big supporter of empire. So Churchill did do scummy things. But the one good thing that Churchill did do is that he didn't give in to Hitler. He, you know, said, nope, you know, we're not giving in. We're not, you know, we're putting our foot down and we're standing our ground right here and then. And that was the best thing that Churchill did. And that guy was just attacking Churchill over that. And he was like, he was trying to blame Churchill for starting World War II. It's one of the stupidest things ever. Like, trying to blame Churchill for starting World War II. And Churchill wasn't even in power when Hitler had invaded Poland. So it was like, you know, the guy was just an idiot. And, you know, he was saying like a bunch of like Nazi propaganda. It was, I honestly don't know, you know, how anybody could say Churchill was responsible for World War II. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And also, when I was watching the guy talk, he was, like, ignoring the first year and a half of what happened. Like, he just started talking about, like, when Hitler invaded the Soviet Union, and he ignored the fact that, like, Hitler had invaded, you know, Czechoslovakia, he invaded the Sudetenland, then he invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia in 1938, then he invaded Poland in 1939, he invaded also, Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, and France, all in 1940. And so he was, like, acting like World War II started in 1941 when, no, Hitler was invading plenty of countries beforehand. So, like, the guy was just saying a bunch of nonsense. The guy was just saying stupid crap. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. And also when that stupid guy was blaming Churchill for not making peace with Hitler, why would anybody want to make peace with Hitler? Because it's like, this guy had, like, broken every single treaty. Every single treaty that this guy had, he broke. Like, Hitler broke every single agreement that he had with other countries. Every agreement. And so if you made peace with the guy, what's to stop the guy from coming back a few years later and just attacking you when he gets his strength back again? So it was like, that was the best thing that Churchill did, is that he basically just put his foot down, and he said, no, enough of this. Is like, you know, we're not giving in, we're not doing any more appeasement, this is it. You know, we're taking this guy out. So that was, that's what Churchill, the best thing that Churchill did, is he stood up to Hitler. Let me see. World at War has the best Call of Duty soundtrack of all Call of Duty games, in my opinion. Thank you, Somebody32. World at War has a great soundtrack, and World at War's soundtrack is also, like, really creepy. Like, it's really scary. Like, you hear the music, it's like, it's really scary. Do you hate Germany because of its history? No. I think that Germans have an obligation to, you know, admit to their bad history, but I don't blame, like, you know, modern Germans for, you know, what Hitler had done. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Churchill is a complicated character that did a lot of bad things, but it did seem to me that he was, repeating Nazi propaganda. Historical revisionism seemed to be the big problem. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. Yeah, and I didn't even know what the guy's name was because, like, I wasn't even paying attention to his name, but just the amount of stuff that he was just saying was just so historically inaccurate, so many bad things. Like, I would have destroyed that guy in a debate, but it was just, like, the amount of nonsense that he was just spewing there. Where, oh, there was this viral interview that, like, went around on YouTube where there was, like, this guy that was, like, blaming Churchill for starting World War II. It was, like, it was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Like, and, yeah, that's where the whole Churchill trending thing came from, because that guy that gave that interview, and he was just, like, just talking a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of Nazi propaganda. Could World War II have been prevented? Technically, yes. There was one point that I can think of where it could have been prevented, and the one point where World War II could have been prevented, it was like around 1935. I think it was like 1935, like when it happened. So this is like 4 years before World War II started. Piłsudski, who was Józef Piłsudski, he was the Marshal of Poland. Piłsudski said that Hitler was a threat to world peace in Europe, and Piłsudski, what he did was he went to the French government, and he told the French government, you know, invade Germany from the west, and we will invade Germany from the east, and we'll get rid of Hitler right now. And the French basically turned down the Polish offer, and the French basically said Hitler's not a threat, you know, he's not going to do anything, and we don't want a war right now. So imagine that. Imagine if the French had actually agreed to like invade. And, you know, Poland would have attacked from the, you know, east, France would have attacked from the west, and they could have just taken Hitler out right then and there, and it would have just been over. But it was like, you know, that's probably going to go down in history as, like, one of the biggest what-if scenarios, too. If Poland and France had invaded Germany in 1935, they could have 100% won that, definitely. Hitler was not that strong yet, so they could have definitely won that conflict. But Germany's already strong in 1935. No. No, Germany started rearming at that time, but they weren't really strong yet. Germany in 1935 barely had an air force and a navy. Did the Polish government become more authoritarian after Piłsudski's coups? Yes, they did. But a lot of Polish people see him as a hero because they liked his reforms and they liked how he, how he kept the Soviets away. He kept communist influence out of Poland, so that's why a lot of Polish people have a very positive view of Piłsudski. I feel Japan was war-bound no matter what. What do you mean by that, somebody 32? Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I like your knowledge about history. Thank you, man. Would World War II still have happened if the Treaty of Versailles wasn't so harsh? We don't know. We fully don't know. It was a lot of the things in the Treaty of Versailles were very unreasonable. But like I said, these are big what-if scenarios. We don't know. Wait, what? Somebody 32? Can you explain a little bit more? What would have happened if the Nazis had won World War II? If they had won World War II, if they had won World War II, there would have been no Slavic people left in Eastern Europe. Like, Eastern Europe would have been... The vast majority of Slavs that lived in Eastern Europe would have been murdered, massacred, genocided. So, basically, almost all Polish people would be gone. All Ukrainians, Belarusians, they would almost all be gone. All of them dead. And any that would survive would have probably fled, like, east towards, like, the Urals. So, like, the Nazi plan in Eastern Europe was they were going to eventually genocide Eastern Europe, and they were going to kill all Slavic people that were in Eastern Europe. Could Poland have repelled Germany if the Soviet Union never invaded? No. Germany was too technologically advanced at that time. Poland would not have been able to repel Germany, even if the Soviet Union hadn't invaded 2 weeks later. What Poland probably could have done is they probably could have lasted longer. They probably could have held out longer. Maybe they could have held out until 1940, possibility. But they would not have been able to, stop them. If you were the president during the 80s, how would you deal with right-wing dictatorships in Latin America, and how would I deal with South Africa also? Would you try to talk to them? I wouldn't send any kind of aid whatsoever to, like, countries that are, brutal dictatorships, whether it's a left-wing dictatorship or a right-wing dictatorship. I would not send, any kind of aid to countries like that. One thing that I like is I like what the Argentinian president did, where he basically said that we're not going to trade with, like, dictatorships and communist countries. So I generally like his response a lot. What do you think is the most brutal battle of World War II? Stalingrad. Maybe Hustler, I don't know. It's a lot of games to play right now at the moment. Tarawa was a really bad battle, but I think Okinawa is probably worse than Tarawa. The thing is, though, is that a lot of those right-wing dictatorships that existed during the Cold War, like and you know those brutal regimes like you had in like South Africa, for example, like apartheid South Africa, a lot of those regimes would have collapsed or would have stopped if the U.S. had stopped giving them aid. So if the U.S. had stopped supporting them and given them aid and like completely cut them off, like, you know, no help whatsoever, a lot of them probably would have stopped. So you have to remember that a lot of these dictatorships that were during the Cold War, they were propped up by both the Soviet Union and the U.S. So the Soviet Union was like supporting a lot of left-wing dictatorships during the Cold War. The U.S. was supporting a lot of right-wing dictatorships. So if the U.S. had basically cut a lot of these countries off, is that if they didn't stop, their economies probably would have collapsed and they would have changed. No, Brandon, I haven't played DMZ in like a month probably now at this point. Could the Cold War have been avoided? No, because the Soviets were on their trying to spread communism worldwide. Yeah, when I play World at War, it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Do you think the American police and the Nazis are the same thing? Okay, I know that you're trolling. It says, what kind of stupid question is that? Yes, I know that, Gunner. Damn, the boat drifted out. Okay. What caused the Shah of Iran to be overthrown? Religious extremism. Oh, hey, Mechanical Lefty. How are you, man? Make sure you guys check out Mechanical Lefty's channel. He's a streamer also. How are you, man? Would Leon Trotsky have been worse than Stalin? No. Trotsky would have still done bad things, but nowhere near the damage that Stalin did. Trotsky probably would have been more similar to Khrushchev if he was in power. Is Phoenix Wright a goofball compared to Edgeworth? Kind of. Edgeworth is much more serious. Pro, what U.S. state is the most free in your view? I would say probably a state that people don't expect me to say. The freest state in the U.S.? Probably Alaska. And the reason that I say Alaska is the freest state in the U.S. because Alaska has no income tax and no sales tax. There are states that have no sales tax, but then they have an income tax. And there are states that have no income tax, but a sales tax. So Alaska has no income tax, and it has no sales tax. And on top of that, in some places in Alaska, there's no property tax. It's like the only state in America where in some places there are no property taxes. It depends on where. Like, if you build a house in certain parts of Alaska, like certain counties, there are no property taxes. It depends really where. where you build the property. But that's why some rich people in Alaska have like mansions on like those small islands, because those islands technically aren't part of counties, and because of that, there's no property taxes for them to pay. So that's all I'll say is probably Alaska is probably the freest state then. Alaska has a super high murder rate. Alaska does have a high crime rate. That is true, but the thing about that, there's two things that I will comment on. The entire state of Alaska has like over 700,000 people in it, and because of that, whenever a crime happens, like a single murder, it's going to affect the stats a lot in Alaska compared to like a place like New York. So like it's like New York is such a high population, so like a single murder in like New York is not going to affect the stats that much, but like a single murder in Alaska with like 700,000 people is going to affect the stats a lot more. But also what I will say is the reason that Alaska has a really high crime rate, the reason for that, it's because Alaska has more nighttime than any other state. That's the reason. And it's not Alaska's fault, so there's not really anything that they can do about it. So whenever you have longer nights, you are going to have more crime anywhere in the world. It's just going to happen, because most crimes happen at night. And so because Alaska has longer nights than any other, state in America, they're going to have just more crime on average. It's just what's going to happen. Will the world be a better place without religion? I personally think there won't be much of a difference. People will still kill each other for money. I don't want to get into religious discussions, religious debates, and Own Titan, thank you for the super chat. I will say though that there's a common belief out there. Like there's a false belief that people have, where people think that the vast majority of the conflicts in the world are started by religion. But the thing is, though, is that maybe you can make that argument like hundreds of years ago, that like a lot of conflicts were started because of religion like hundreds of years ago. But within the last like 200, 300 years, do you know what has caused the vast majority of war within the last 200 to 300 years? It's not religion, it's imperialism. Like, imperialism and empire have probably caused the most amount of wars in the last 200 to 300 years. Like, if you just think about, like, the vast majority of conflicts, you just think about them, they're usually some kind of conflicts involving greed, some kind of money, or they're involving, like, a territory expansion or territory dispute. So that's what I'll say, is that, there are very few wars today that are started because of religion. Like, there are a few conflicts in the world that are because of religion, don't get me wrong, but the vast majority of conflicts today are due to imperialism. It's imperialism and greed. That's probably the vast majority of conflicts today. Do you miss anything about New York? Oh, of course. I will say the thing that I miss probably the most about New York is that New York, you could pretty much walk to wherever you wanted. So you could walk to any store, you didn't need to drive anywhere. That was probably, and places in New York were always, a lot of places in New York were open 24 hours. But I don't regret moving, though. Oh, great. NMC raid, wonderful. Yes, I'll play San Andreas later this month, yes. Do you think it's ironic how dictators usually not come from the country itself? Example, Hitler came from Austria and Stalin from Georgia. You're also forgetting Napoleon. Napoleon didn't come from France. He actually came from Corsica. And Napoleon, well, technically Corsica was part of France, but they consider themselves Corsican, not French. But Napoleon wasn't as bad as Hitler or Stalin, but still, it's another dictator that wasn't from the country that he ruled. I wasn't disrespecting any religion. No, I know that. I'm not saying you were disrespecting any. I'm not saying you were Own Titan. I'm just saying is that, like, there's a false belief that, and this is coming from somebody who's an agnostic. I'm not a religious person, so I'm an agnostic. But I'm telling you, like, when people say that the vast majority of, like, conflicts in the world are, like, caused by religion, it's like, can you honestly tell me, like, any modern conflict that's, like, caused by religion? Maybe you can make a few arguments. Maybe, like, in parts of Africa and, like, the Middle East, maybe there's, like, a few conflicts that are caused by religion. But if you look at, like, the vast majority of other places in the world, most of the conflicts are caused by greed. It's imperialism, it's empire, it's usually countries trying to take something from another country. So that's what most of them are caused by. Hey buddy, how are you? I'm good, Christine, how are you? Thank you, Railhog Productions. Thank you for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. And thank you, Lightroom. Hey, Professional, I've been a fan of the channel for years. I love your guide and lore videos. Both help in different ways, and I appreciate it all. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. What if America never bought Alaska? Well, then Russia will be a lot bigger. Does your Polish side also give you anti-monarchy sentiment because the Polish have a history of being oppressed by foreign monarchs? Maybe to a degree, but I will tell you in general, I just don't like monarchy in general. But my dislike of monarchy does not come from my Polish ancestry. My dislike of monarchy comes primarily from me being American. That's just why I don't like monarchy. The reason I don't like monarchy is because I think that monarchy is anti-American. Because the idea of the American dream is that you work your way up and that you can be anything that you want. But monarchy goes completely against that, where it's like you have like a family that has been born into wealth and privilege. It's not based on merit. It's not based on meritocracy, which is what America was founded on, meritocracy. It's born on privilege and bloodline. And this family is like destined to rule what? Because of their bloodline? So that's just personally why I've never been a fan of monarchy, why I've never liked monarchy. I don't have anything against, monarchies in other countries. So like, for example, like monarchy in Britain, I have nothing against the monarchy in Britain, and I understand that the monarchy is part of like British culture. But also, people need to understand that part of our culture in America is we don't like monarchy in our country. So while I don't have, I'm surprised I survived that. While I don't have anything against, like, monarchy in Britain, is Americans would not want a monarchy in their country. And if there was a monarchy in America, I would probably be calling for it to be overthrown. So, how am I still alive? I don't know how I'm still alive. That's just surviving 2 crazy accidents already. Now I'm finally dead. Okay. Have I played DayZ? I have. And people on DayZ can be really toxic. I play DayZ on PlayStation sometimes. I haven't played it in years. You wanted to tell me what, Phoenix? Idiots are saying the government is making hurricanes? What? Thank you, General's Alert. And thank you, thank you for the super chat. Can I do a lore but I don't want to talk about these creeps, like this rapper or whatever that's been doing disgusting things. I don't want to, talk about this. I'll play Condemned one day. I hope you get better, Orion. Do you like alternate history? Not really, no. Because alternate history is all based on what ifs, and it's like, and what people don't understand. Do you know what the biggest misconception that people have about alternate history, the biggest misconception about it, is that people think that like one or two events can like completely change history, which it could, but it could also have no influence on what was going to happen. Do you know one major thing that would not have changed anything in history? I'm telling you right now. Like, one thing that would have never changed in history is World War I. World War I would have still happened. regardless, if Franz Duke, even if Franz Duke Ferdinand was not assassinated, World War I would have still happened. That's what a lot of people don't understand. People think that World War I was started primarily by, Franz Duke Ferdinand being assassinated, but Franz Duke Ferdinand being assassinated was only, the final spark that lit the gunpowder up and blew everything up. That's all it basically was, is World War I was going to happen eventually. If it didn't happen over Franz Duke Ferdinand's assassination, it would have started over some other stupid reason. So the same conflict would have started. It would just started over something else entirely. But World War I was only a matter of time. It was going to happen regardless. So it was all those two alliances were prepping for war. They wanted war. So it was gonna happen regardless. And also, like a lot of people say, for example, like, what if, Germany won, like, D-Day, stopped the Americans at Normandy? Well, like, the chances of Germany stopping the American invasion of Normandy is, like, less than, like, 1%. Like, they had, like, no chance of stopping the American invasion at Normandy. But even if Germany somehow did stop the American invasion at Normandy, it would not have changed their defeat. Germany would have still been defeated. It still would have happened. And maybe it would have taken a little bit longer, but they still would have been defeated. So that's the thing about alternate history. What people don't understand is that sometimes you're still going to get the same outcome. Even if a few things happen, you're still going to get the same outcome in the end. Let me look here. There's a guy I work with that believes the government can control how strong the hurricanes are and steer their path of destruction. God. And why would the government send a hurricane into their own country? That makes no sense. If the government has the power to create hurricanes, don't you think they would have created hurricanes and sent hurricanes against a lot of countries that hate us? Don't you think they would have done that instead? That's just, that's just like I'm not a fan of the government, but like that's just like a stupid theory. GOG is selling the first 3 Resident Evil games. Oh, okay. The remakes you mean, or the originals? Why do the Balkans have so many conflicts? Primarily over territorial disputes. They were in the same country, Yugoslavia, for a very long time, and they were under a dictatorship. And when the dictatorship collapsed, they broke up into so many countries, and there was like so many of these nationalist movements that popped up, and they would like one country would say this is our land, the other country would say no, this is our land, and then they would get into fights, and it spilled over into other countries too, and it just caused really horrible conflicts. Like some of the Balkan conflicts that happened were some of those brutal conflicts. They were really, really bad. I had relatives who fought in World War II, one in the Navy and one and my first uncle in occupation post VE Day in Germany. Oh, and my first... Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Railhog Productions, for the super chat. You had one relative that fought in the Navy. Did they fight in the Battle of the Atlantic, or did they fight in the Pacific? Why so serious? I'm not serious. This is just my personality. This is just how I am. Like, I'm not like one of those YouTubers that like put on like a fake personality to get views. Like, I don't pretend to be funny to get views. This is the way I am. This is just my personality. This is just who I am. I don't pretend to be somebody I'm not. $750 to the hurricane victims. Yeah, and I agree with you that sending only $750 to hurricane victims is really stupid, considering that we send so much money to other countries, and yet when our own people need something, when something goes wrong, the government's just gonna give like $750. And it was the same thing with Hawaii. When the Maui fires happened, they gave them like $700 when they lost their homes and their businesses. That's not even enough for like 1 month's rent. Well, I don't know where these people are coming up with these conspiracy theories from, generals, but they just sound stupid. I did actually talk about that Burma Railroad in my playthrough Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Who was asking me about college? Like, I saw a question about college, but I wasn't able to read the comment in time. I don't know who posted it. Can you post a question again? How do you know so much about World War II? I just like to read. Somebody was asking me something about a college title, but I didn't get the chance to read the comment in time. Oh, DK, I see it now. Saw your video regarding college. I wonder why society keeps defining a person based on their career and not the person themselves. A job is a place to make money. It shouldn't define them as people. Yeah, and I will tell you is, this college elitism crap is one of the most toxic things that I've seen. Because the thing is, though, is that people will look down on other people, for not going to college. Like, they'll look down on them. They'll basically think that those people are, like, stupid. They'll think that they're losers. They will think that they're uneducated. And I will say this college elitism is, like, so toxic. It's so disgusting. And look, the thing is, my history knowledge, like, I know history pretty, like, World War II history, especially World War I history. I know that pretty well. Revolutionary War, French Revolutionary War. But what I will say about this is that the vast majority of my history knowledge does not come from college, doesn't even come from high school. It just comes from just me reading stuff on the internet. That's it. That's where it comes from. So it's like, you can learn a lot of stuff online. You don't need a piece of paper to, you know, define you. But people like, it's this, like I said, this college elitism has just gotten so toxic, and it's just gotten so ridiculous. And I will, do you know what this college elitism sometimes reminds me of? It sometimes reminds me of the aristocracy that was, like, in Europe, like, back in the day, where we had these aristocrats who basically thought that they were smarter and better than everybody, and they looked down on the peasants, and they thought the peasants were, like, stupid. That's what the college elitists remind me of. Well, I think everybody should finish high school, because high school is free. You know, free education. There's no reason why people shouldn't finish high school. But college is, you don't need college to be successful, and I think that this college elitism has gotten really toxic. Oh, your school didn't teach you history, Michael? Oh, that sucks. History is important. And you know what I will tell you guys also, this is, it personally pisses me off when I see, like, these college kids, like, laugh at kids that are, like, working manual labor jobs. So, like, you will have these college kids that will be, like, laughing at somebody who's, like, a plumber or, like, an electrician, while these college kids who are laughing at these people, they're not even working. They're going to school, they don't even have a job, and it's their parents who are paying their tuition for them. So at least the other people that are doing manual labor, at least they're doing something. They're saving up money for their future. At least they're working, they're being productive. While, these other people are just, living off of daddy and mommy's tuition, going to school and then laughing at other people. Do I need a university degree to go into the stock market? No. I used to do stocks, and I didn't have any kind of degree in stocks or anything like that. You can just download Robinhood and start trading stocks right now. Joker 2 sucked? Well, I didn't even see it, so I don't know. I saw the first one, but favorite PS1 game, Mega Man Legends. I will do a 100% completion stream, but I want to do a third playthrough, I do. And I'll do a 100% completion stream too. When's the final part of Metal Gear Solid? Probably tomorrow. I will also say another thing, guys. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. What are your thoughts on time travel? I don't think it's possible. But the crazy thing is, the Ace Attorney case that I'm doing right now revolves around time travel. It's a time travel murder. So you might want to check that one out. But what I will say is, I don't understand this obsession with job titles. I don't get that personally, because a job is a job. That's ultimately it. The thing is, like, if somebody is like a lawyer who makes like, you know, $200,000 a year, and somebody is like a plumber that runs their own business and makes $200,000 a year, what difference is there between them? There's no difference. A job is a job. It's like I said, is that it's, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you're not breaking the law, who cares how you make money? If you're not hurting anybody and you're not breaking the law, who cares how you make money? Doesn't matter. And so that's what I'll say, is that it's a job is a job. And these people that are like, you know, so obsessed with these titles, it's disgusting. Like, the vast majority of my family does not know that I do YouTube. The vast majority. Most of them. Like, I would say 95% of my family does not know I do YouTube. Only my mom and my dad know. Like, it's like, other than that, nobody else knows. My aunt doesn't know, my cousins don't know, you know, my grandma doesn't know, like, it's like, you know, my half-brother and my half-sister don't know, like, you know, nobody, you know, really knows what I do YouTube. And the reason for that is because I have family members that if I told them that I do YouTube, they would get extremely toxic. Like, I know them. I know how they'll act, and they will get extremely toxic if I tell them that I do YouTube. They're like, oh, that's not a job. You're just sitting on your butt playing video games all day. That's not a job. It's like, go out and do something. That's like what they would be like. So that's like, I just don't tell people that. When people ask me what I do for a living, I just tell them that, you know, I trade stocks and I run 2 rental properties, which isn't necessarily lying. I don't really do the stock market anymore, but I still, you know, run 2 rental properties. So that's generally what I tell people. And, you know, like, if I told them I did a YouTube, like, some of them would get really toxic. So that's just why I generally don't tell my family that. Maybe, in a way, Wasabi Guy, but honestly, I don't care what, I am not close to I'm not close to that many people in my family. The only people I'm close to are really my dad and my mom. I'm not really close to that many other people in the family. And so it's like, I really don't care what they think of me. As a university student, I look up to blue-collar workers, janitors, garbage men, pool tech, and maintenance workers. More interested in these fields more than computer science. Am I wrong? Yeah, and I will say is that for all of the people for all of these people that, like, you know, make fun of manual laborers, like, you know, they make fun of these people, like, you know, people people make fun of somebody who, like, works at, like, a cashier at, like, a supermarket, right? Like, people think that, like, somebody that, like, works as a cashier at a supermarket is, like, a delinquent. That's what they think. And I will tell you guys something. These same elitists who, like, make fun of people who are, like, cashiers, what do you guys think would happen if tomorrow every single supermarket cashier in America walked off the job? What do you think would happen? Like, if every single supermarket cashier refused to work tomorrow? Or, like, and I know some people might say, oh, what about self-checkouts? Well, let's just say that all supermarket workers decided to walk out tomorrow. Like, all of them. Just decided to just basically say, yep, we're not coming into work. None of us. Every single supermarket in the country. What do you guys think would happen? Like, if every single supermarket worker just decided to not show up tomorrow? Like, what that would do? Because, like, these people who make fun of these workers, like, they have no idea how valuable these people are. Didn't your half-brother get a degree in philosophy and he was never able to find a job? Yep, exactly what happened. He got a 4-year degree in philosophy, and then all he did was he complained that he couldn't find a job anywhere. You know, honestly, like, like, if I told my half-brother that I did, like, you know, YouTube, like, he would, like, laugh at me, and he'd call me, like, a loser and an idiot, if I told him that. But, honestly, it's like, I could make the exact same argument to him, that he went to, like, 4 years to finish, like, a philosophy degree, and he didn't even get a job in it. Fixing to start my career in construction soon. Front end loaders. Oh, good luck in that, Jack. And construction pays you good money. And if you're working for the government, you get benefits. Thank you, Zach Known Titan. What kind of jobs can you get with a philosophy degree? Almost nothing. Maybe get a job as a philosophy teacher, or maybe write a book. But that's it, really. Are you an anime fan? It depends on the anime. Some I'll watch, some I won't. I generally don't like all the robot stuff in anime and in the magic stuff. I'm not really too much of a fan of that. If I'm gonna watch anime, it's like, it'll be something like modern, maybe like War, or, you know, something like that. Generally, but, if everybody quit their cashier jobs, will people steal or use self-checkout? If everybody quit their cashier jobs, supermarkets would close down. And if you want to know how essential these workers are, just remember what happened during COVID. When COVID happened and the country was locked down, who was there? It was the cashiers that were there. They were there in stores, and they had to work through that. So other people, you know, got sent home and they got paid for it. But cashiers, they had to work during that. They were considered essential workers. So just think about that too. People make fun of cashiers all the time, but, you know, without cashiers, this country, this economy would collapse. What is Black Friday in the US? A day where there's, like, massive sales going on. Would I consider driving a dump truck after high school? I probably wouldn't. I would probably want to do something business related. I think construction is a great job, but it's just not for me personally. You look like you're a principal of school. No. There we go. Delivered. My dream job, if not YouTube, I probably would have wanted to go into gunsmithing. That's probably that, yeah. Pat looks like he's gonna protect the president in his Secret Service in that suit, huh? Self-checkouts, you know, I will tell you something, is that self-checkouts are one of the worst things I've seen in stores, and I hate self-checkouts personally. I always like dealing with a human. I don't ever like self-checkouts. No, Robin Hood is up. What do you mean? Oh, I would love another Mafia game during Prohibition, yep. Press the like button, thank you. I was a bit annoyed, yeah, the whole master betrayal in Metal Gear Solid, I was a bit annoyed by that. And the thing about it is, I didn't expect him to be Liquid Snake, I didn't expect that. But I did think that he was manipulating us, and I was right, I called it out that he was manipulating us. But, I just didn't expect him to be Liquid, but... My mom made a mistake with self-checkouts, and the police were called. What happened? Did she get did she get fined? What happened? Did she get arrested? I hope she didn't. But that's the thing about self-checkouts. That's what I hate about self-checkouts, is that if you go to a store, right, a supermarket, and you get rung up for stuff, if the cashier makes a mistake and they don't ring something up and they put it in your bag, you're not responsible for that. But if you make a mistake while ringing up stuff, that counts as theft, even if it's an honest mistake. If you were a soldier in World War I, what is the best way to survive in the entire battlefield? Like being at the artillery position or something? The best way to survive World War I is to be an officer, because most officers would stay in the backs during World War I, and a lot of officers were also cowards. So that was the best way to survive. A lot of officers actually shot their own men for retreating, even though they were, even though they themselves hadn't charged up. Like, the Italian and the French officers were some of the biggest scumbags in the war, and I guess you could say also the German officers were also massive scumbags. So it's like, generally the officers were just massive scumbags in World War I. I think the Italian officers were probably the biggest scumbags in World War I. Probably, they were probably the worst ones. That's why fragging happened, yeah, when they killed their officers, yep. Yeah, I know about that story, the Polish boxer, yes. There's actually a movie about him. I don't know much about the British officers in World War I, She made a mistake scanning something with self-checkout. She got off of a warning. My dad was with her. She called me on the phone about it and warned her, don't use self-checkouts. If I was your mom, I probably would have gone off on the people in the supermarket. Like I wouldn't have been screaming at them, but I would have basically yelled at them and said, like, you know, why don't you have more people staffed here then? Like, you know, instead of, like, you know, blaming the customer for making a mistake with the self-checkout, like, why don't you have more people staffed here? Like, why? Like, why don't you have more people at the supermarket? That's what's so stupid about these self-checkouts, is that you make a mistake with a self-checkout, they'll go after you. They'll consider it theft. Why did Sweet get mad at CJ for being up? Well, Chryslin, look up my video, why does Sweet get angry at CJ for leaving the hood? I made a video on that. And, yeah, I explained the whole thing. If I was traveling in time to World War I and World War II, I would be an American soldier, or a Marine. Thank you, Railhog Productions. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, and, I would say that if I had to choose, if I had a choice, right, would I rather be like a Soviet soldier on the Eastern Front, or like an American soldier in the Pacific? Because those are the two worst fronts of the war. The two worst fronts of World War II are the Pacific and the Eastern Front. Those are the two worst fronts. If I had to choose, which front would I rather be? Would I rather be an American in the Pacific or a Soviet soldier in the Eastern Front? I would choose rather be an American in the Pacific. And for one simple reason. And the reason for that is because as bad as the Pacific was, American soldiers got to eat. As bad as the Pacific was. Soviet soldiers didn't always get to eat. And so that's what I'll say is that's the advantage there. There we go. What made the Pacific bad? The temperature, the temperature, the lack of a lot of the close quarter fighting, the fact that it was island invasion, so the defender always had an advantage. The fact that the Japanese would not give up and would fight till the very last man. They would not take prisoners either. They would treat prisoners horribly. I also never suspected Miller was liquid the first time. Quite a twist there. The stories get even quirkier in the later games. Metal Gear Solid 3, the best one, though. I gotta play those games one day. I'll do playthroughs of them also one day. Do you think that Muhammad Ali was wrong for refusing to go to war for his country? No. Because the Vietnam War should have been more of a choice. It should have been a choice whether people wanted to go or not. The worst thing about that is that they drafted people and they forced people to go. It's like, why should somebody, go and fight in a war and a conflict that they don't agree with? No, I don't think Muhammad Ali was wrong to, to do that. Well, I will tell you guys is that one time I went to United Airlines, and when I was going to United Airlines, I had a really bad customer service experience where I wanted to get my boarding pass because I'm an old school guy. I don't really use like the apps on the phone and stuff like that. I usually just have them print out the boarding pass for me. I have the actual physical paper, and I would just board with that. That's just how I usually did things. And what happened was I would always wait in line and just go up to the counter to like to get a to have them print out my boarding pass. And I didn't go to the self-checkout kiosks. I didn't go to those. And what happened is I was standing in line and like the person there was like staring at me. He's like, go to the self-checkout kiosk. It's like, no, I want to deal with a person. It's like, go to self-checkout. And so I went to self-checkout and like I didn't understand it. Like I just wasn't used to it. I'm just not big on that. And like I said, like, can you help me? Like I don't understand this. And they're like, ugh. And they just come over here and like help me out. And I was like, wow, but this is some really bad customer service. United Airlines I was dealing with that. It's like, if you don't want to help people, it's like, why are you even here? Like, what? Like, go home. It's like, don't work if you don't want to help people. But that's the experience I've had. There's always going to be customers that want to deal with a person rather than dealing with a machine. I just brought the PS2 versions of Vice City and San Andreas for their anniversaries coming up. To revisit them after 20 years hits me with nostalgia because they remind me of simple times. Thank you, Chryslin, for the super chat. They do remind me of simple times as well. And we're gonna have a big hit of nostalgia in October when we play San Andreas for the anniversary. Thoughts on the sheriff in Hurricane... thank you, Chryslin. Thoughts on the sheriff in a hurricane disaster zone confiscated donated supplies and taking it to their armory for accountability. Seems like every time there's a disaster, we see true colors of government. I got a question for you, Amateur. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw a video earlier today, and it was like a video of like some... some police chief that was like getting... Did anybody else see the video that I'm talking about? Like, I saw a video today. It was like some video of like some police chief and he was like getting pissed off at some people that were like holding some kind of barbecue or something like that for people that like, you know, suffered in the hurricane. They were like giving out some kind of supplies, and like the police chief tried to stop it, and he was like giving them an attitude. And then he said something toxic to one of the guys, and one of the guys that was there, according to like the police chief, like he got really mad at him, and he was like saying like, I'm a Marine. It's like, you know, don't talk to me like that. And he started going off on the chief, and the chief was just being toxic to him. And like, I don't remember everything that was said. I saw it like earlier today. But it was like a video where like, did anybody else see the video that I'm talking about? It was like a video that was going viral today. But like, it was like the chief was trying to stop like some kind of event that was like, you know, helping like, you know, hurricane, like, you know, survivors, and the one guy there got pissed off at the chief and like went off on the chief. Thank you, Amateur, also for the super chat. Wait, I'll find the video for you guys in just 1 second. I'll find the video. The video is only 1 minute long, so we'll talk about it in a little bit here. But I'll put the video in chat. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, let me, oh great, helicopters. Okay, let me see that video now that I was talking about, right? Hold on 1 second. Let me just see the video that I was talking about. Okay, I found the video. Okay, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna put this in chat. If you guys could watch this video is only like a minute long, so it's a short. And just tell me what you guys think of it. I saw this video this morning, earlier today. I don't know what the whole backstory behind that. I don't know what the chief's problem was, or you know what was going on there, but it was like yeah, Assassin Wolf, I don't know what the backstory behind that, why that chief was getting so pissed, what was going on there, that I don't know. Okay, let me actually, I'm gonna help Winston with his heist here really quick. And then, yeah, and I could probably help a better person with their heist after. I can't stand when players say GTA 5 is the best GTA when they never played the others. San Andreas is the best one for me, in my opinion, and that's just period. I want to eventually make a video about that, but here's the thing I'll say about San Andreas, Chrysler. Here's what I'll say about this. San Andreas has the biggest map in the GTA series, the biggest map, 100% the biggest map in the series, and people cannot, you know, sit there and tell me that it doesn't, because it does. I don't care about the physical map itself. When I say that it's the biggest, Was this 2 months ago? Oh, it says it was like a month ago. That's what it says. So I guess we weren't talking about the same thing. Okay, but I watched this video today. So this video got recommended to me today. I guess it was because of the hurricanes. But it was like I don't know what the Chiefs' problem is. I don't know why the Chief was getting so pissed at them for like having they were having like a charity barbecue. Like, you know, what's wrong with that? Like, it's just, I don't know what the Chief was going on a power trip, but so I don't know what the deal with the Chief was there. I don't know. Okay, Pearson, I'm ready. You gonna show us the video? I could probably play the video. Pearson, can you please drive? I'll probably react to the video here. So, like, this happened like a month or two ago. I don't know the backstory behind the video. So, like, I can't like I said, I don't know what was going on here, but okay, hold on a second here. And okay, so this is the video, this right here. The Chief wasn't happy they were hosting a barbecue to help out the community.
Yet.
Why can't we rent this?
Okay? You don't have the authority yet. It's that simple.
That's further down the line.
It said no.
When was that filed?
I didn't ask you. I'm not talking to you. You need to move away from me. You are a disgrace in my eyes.
Oh.
Ditto, brother. You know what? As a Marine, you should have been better prepared.
As a Marine.
Jump in my shit and see what happens.
I am.
As a Marine, you should have been better
right
prepared.
Here in your shit.
As a Marine, you should have
Okay?
been better prepared. You don't come to me and tell me I'm a piece of shit for
You
pointing
are.
out the truth.
You
for
are
pointing out the
exactly-
truth.
I think a lot of people in the city feel the chief should be removed.
I will not back down. I stand by what I said.
You think you lost your temper, or you think that's okay?
I was not happy. Yes. Do I say it's okay? Probably.
Bro, the way he was talking all calm to that reporter, he could have talked like that to these people, and he got very mad when that Marine was like, as a Marine, you should have been better prepared.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, so like I don't know. I don't know the whole backstory behind that. I don't know why the Chief was there, but that seemed like a massive power trip to me. That seemed like he was you know, power tripping. That was just So that video apparently happened like a month ago, but I only got recommended it today. So I watched it this morning, but
That's it. Shorted. Quickly, get through. Heads up. CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run. Nice shot. Don't mind if you do.
okay.
Hey, before they go to the vault, today's takings are stored near where you are. It's up to you, but it might be worth a detour. It's a two-room system. One of you needs to hold the access button in the security room. The other runs through and grabs the cash.
Don't stand near the door, Pearson, because the guard can sometimes see you.
Get distracted. This is just a starter.
Give me a second, I'll be right there.
Heads up. CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run.
So I don't know why that, you know, police chief got so mad. I don't know, like, what was the problem. But I will say this about this. Let me just mute Lester because it's getting annoying too, talking over him constantly. What I was gonna say is that this is a perfect example of, like, you know, government bureaucracy going too far and, like, government getting into your personal lives. Like, if somebody wants to, like, host something like that, like a barbecue to, like, help hurricane victims, why is it the government's problem? Why is that the police's problem? It's not. And it's what the? Okay.
Is heavily guarded. vault key cards simultaneously at separate control panels. That unlocks the system, but even then, we can't open both the inner and the outer doors simultaneously. Everyone needs to get inside so we can close the first door and then open the second. We need one person with a vault key card at each. Get everyone inside the man trap now. I can keep the first door open until you're set. Okay, so far so bueno. Push on to the vault. Looks like the guard at the vault room isn't there. Happy days. I know this is a special moment for you down there, but trust me, it's about to get a lot more special on the other side of that door. Break out the laser drill, let's do this! The lock mechanism should melt like butter. You just need to target the weak points. Don't rush. If you push the drill too hard, it'll overheat. We're not on a time limit until we're inside.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Done. That's disc 3.
Okay, yeah. Problem with the mic earlier. Few settings, but... What I was trying to say, what I was saying earlier, and I got, mute. I was talking about the police chief. Is that I don't understand what the problem with the police chief is. I don't know why the police chief was, acting like that. I don't get it personally. And it's a perfect example of government bureaucracy getting in the way. If somebody wants to, if somebody wants to help their community and do, a charity event, who cares? So it's like not the government's problem to get involved. Government shouldn't be getting involved in something like that.
But only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now. There's a set of lockboxes in here. Drill them if you've got the time, but I can't promise you there'll be
Here we
anything
go.
good inside.
Okay, I think we might be able to actually get all of the gold. Give other GTAs a chance before saying 5 is the best. Oh, I agree. I think that, and I think what I was saying about San Andreas is San Andreas the biggest map in the series because it's the most diverse. It has the most stuff to it. It's like the most content to it. A desert, a forest, grasslands, mountains, 3 cities. Another one down, okay. Okay, I'm gonna get H then. Get F when you're done there. Okay, might be able to do this here. This is gonna be close. Pearson, when you're done there, get A. Get A, get A. Come on.
Make the most of it. 20 seconds.
Pierston, go, go, go.
Gas incoming. 10 seconds. Time's up. The alarm is set to go.
Oh my god.
Still
Ooh.
under the radar. Perfect. Perfect.
See, you can get everything with 2 people.
That is the mother
Swipe.
load. We cleaned
Ooh.
Okay, let's see if we can make the way out as smooth as the way in. Get your key cards ready.
Nearly a $3 million haul.
You really cleaned up down there, you know? They're not gonna know what hit them, except for the insurance bill. You know, if we pull this off, it'll be the crown jewel of my career. The hardest achievement on the console of life. And we are done.
Oh, you have EMP? Okay, you probably should have saved it for the other part, but...
So let's make the most of it. You did good down there. This is gonna be a nice little payday, and a whole lot of smug satisfaction. Oh! Listen up, we have bad news.
I like how the elevator could still work during the power outage.
Spot check on the vault so they know it's been robbed. The good news is they have no idea who or how. The cops are on their way, but you can still make it out undetected if you do exactly
Pierston, go in there.
what I say.
Get some more money.
Now, the shit really hits the fan. The backup generators will be online in a few seconds. Get out of sight. The side doors are back through the staff entrance. You're almost there. All right, there's the generators. You better have your heads down.
Wait, Pierston, are you coming?
Running around with all that loot.
I thought we could go over $3 million.
Down. It'll be back online soon. And remember, if you bring down too many at the same time, they'll hit the alarm without a sound. I've missed this.
We can go over $3 million here. One of the biggest hauls I've ever gotten in the casino heist. This guy never looks at chat. No, I do look at chat, dude. Literally, I don't know where you have been for the last, hour and 30 minutes, but before I joined the heist, I read the vast majority of comments. I was just, we're at $3 million. Okay, nice. I was just focusing on the heist because we almost have like a perfect run here. We're not going to get Elite Challenge because we're not going to get 15 minutes done, but I wanted to see if we get over $3 million, and we've gotten over $3 million. So this is one of the largest takes that I've ever gotten, ever. Here, 3 million, you don't really get $3 million a lot. So and especially with 2 people.
Closing in on us.
So
We need to pick up the pace. Security is sweeping the whole building. Stay one step ahead, or this whole thing goes south.
okay, now we get out here. This looks hard to do. Not really. It's if you get used to it, it's not that bad.
You should avoid the bulk of the cops this way. The only thing that matters is making it to your ride. Remember, they know the vault's been hit, but they don't know who you are or where you are. They have patrols sweeping the whole place, and all the civilians have been evacuated. So if they see you, they'll know it's you. So just stay out of their way, keep your cool, and get to the buyer. The driver has the getaway car in position. I've pinged you the GPS. Get to the buyer, don't bring the cops, and we're home free.
Okay, almost to the cars. Pearson, just get into my car, okay? I'm not reading negative comments, dude. I read as many comments as I can. This one looks customized. Okay. What are the actual steps to investing? Just your bank account? No, not, Oh, crap. Hold on a second. Thank you, Zach, for the super chat. But,
Our decoy is online. The cops are confused as hell. Don't get seen near him, or the cops will figure out what we're doing.
Zach, I used to do a bit of, more of the stock market, like, you know, a year or two ago, but I kind of gave up on it. I will tell you, though, that, one thing that you can do that is, it's not necessarily, it depends on, obviously, how much money you do it with, but it's a very safe way to make money. And what that is if you have Robinhood Gold, you can take advantage of 4.5 APY, because Robinhood has, like, a program where if you pay, like, $5 a month, you get gold membership, but it's actually worth it if you put the more money in than you are going to make from it, because it'll give you 4.5% of that money every year. So whatever the money that you put in, you will get 4.5% back of that every single year, and it gets paid to you on the first of every month. And so that money, I'm pretty sure that money's FDIC insured. So it's like, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's that for me is, at least, it's a safe way to make money without having to worry about the stock market constantly. So a lot of people don't take advantage of, like, the, you know, APY programs on there, like the high yield interest, because they think they're gonna make more money with stocks, but stocks are just a lot more riskier. I'm pretty sure Robinhood is outside of America as well. Man, this thing spins out really quick.
If the buyer hears so much as a siren, this whole thing goes up in smoke. Lose the cops.
There we go, lost the cop.
Excuse me while I take a moment to bask in the glow of my own genius. Feel free to join me. This was the high point of a career full of nothing but high points. Lester Crest is back, baby. Looks like the house doesn't always win after all.
Okay, here we go. How much money do you need to invest in real estate and rental properties? Well, it depends on what type of real estate you want to buy, and it also depends on the state. Like, buying real estate in, like, you know, for example, like Texas and, like, New York is going to be very different. So New York properties are usually going to be really, you know, high, really through the roof. I will say that my personal favorite, because I have 2 rental properties, and I don't know if I want a third one right now. I don't think I do. I think I'm going to take a break from that, because I can easily manage those 2 rental properties. I don't need a, you know, property manager, so I can just take 100% of the, you know, profit from them. But me personally, what I like when I'm looking for rental properties is I look for homes, you know, 4-bedroom homes, because the more bedrooms that's in the house, the more money you're going to get from rent. And I also like to look for houses that are built within the last 20 years. And those houses are going to be a little bit more money, you know, they're going to be more expensive. And one mistake that landlords make is they always go for the cheaper, you know, older houses. But the risk with that is that something is going to constantly break. Something is going to go wrong in those houses. And that's why I typically don't like those houses, because of stuff like that. So I buy houses that are, you know, the 2 rental properties that I have, both of them are built within the last 10 years. And they don't have any issues, you know, very few things that are, you know, happening. Like, I had a dishwasher that broke at the other property, you know, like, what was it, like, you know, 3 months ago, but I took care of that really quickly, and I had a new one, you know, ordered for them. But that was, Yeah, that's what I would say, is that if you invest in, like, newer properties, the chances of something breaking are a lot less. How did you afford that? Well, I almost didn't, because the vast majority of my money that I've saved up my entire life, I used it. So I used almost all my life savings on that first rental property. So it was like a huge risk doing that, but it, it paid off. So I just, I just used, like, this 6 years. I used to work in retail for 6 years, and when I worked in retail for 6 years, I would take 90% of my check every 2 weeks, and I would just put it in the bank, and the other 10% I would just spend it on, like, helping around the house, or, like, some personal things, like a video game every once in a while. But I basically took that money that I saved up from retail plus all the money that I saved up in YouTube for, like, because I purchased the first rental property in, like, 2022, so I took all the money I saved up in YouTube in 5 years, and all the money I saved up in retail in 6 years, and I just used, cash towards that, that property. And, I used up the vast majority of my money, but I didn't have to worry about a mortgage, and I wasn't, like, I wasn't in debt. So I wanted to, like, and one of the reasons I also wanted to, purchase a rental property was because I wanted a way to protect my money, because the government was being stupid, and they were constantly printing more money, and inflation was getting, worse. And I was thinking about, like, how can I protect my money? Like, what can I do exactly? Because if I just have it sitting in the bank there, it's not doing anything for me. It's not making me, more money, and it's my money is losing value over time because of inflation. So I was thinking, what if I put it into a business? What if I buy a business or something like that? Because I still have the value in the land. Land is still valued at, and I'm making money from the business. And I was thinking, what kind of business do I want to start? And I was thinking, like, I don't want to run a store. So it's like, what do I want to do exactly? And I was thinking, why don't I, buy a house, and I try a rental property and see how that goes. And if that goes good, I'll do a second rental property eventually in the future. And, that's basically it. So I have the money in the house. The money is there in the house. The value of the land goes up over time. And on top of that is I'm making money from it. So that's what I'll say. I'm also, what I will say is I'm also like very blessed, and I would also say lucky at the same time too, because I had luck on YouTube, and I did really good on YouTube, and it took off for me. So I'm just very grateful for the opportunities that I've had. And I know duplex, most bang for your buck, built 1958. Yeah, the thing is, though, is that, what is it, thank you, Diecastinator. I know what a duplex is. It's kind of like a house, like, or one building with, like, 2 apartments attached to it. I kind of know what it is. One of my friends, in real life, he wants to, move to my part of the Midwest, and he wants to buy, like, a quadplex, like, like a duplex with, like, 4 units. And he was, like, talking to me and, like, saying, like, do you want to go into it with me? And he's like, I would live in one of the units, and then one of the units, you could have, and the other unit, I could have. It's like, you want to split, like, the mortgage 50-50. And, like, I was, like, saying to him, like, I'll think about it. I just don't know if I want to get into that, personally, because, and he's one of my best friends, so I trust him. I know he's not going to screw me over or anything like that. But it's, what I will say about that is that while duplexes are also a good thing, they are a good thing, because when you buy a duplex, what you can do is you can live in the duplex, and then you can rent out the other unit, and it helps pay off your mortgage on the property. So that's why, duplexes are good too. But me personally, I would not want to run duplexes. I don't think I would. Maybe I'll change my mind if I talk to my friend again when it comes to the quadplex. But the reason I don't want to deal with stuff like that personally is because the close proximity of people, because people are so close to each other. And what I'm personally scared of happening is I'm scared of drama. That's what I'm generally scared of. I'm scared of drama, because I grew up in a rental property that my parents owned when I was a kid. My parents owned this small apartment building in New York, and if you want to know the type of house that I grew up in, it was if anybody's ever watched Spider-Man, the old Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, if you watch like Spider-Man 2 and 3, like when he, you know, goes to Mr. Ditkovich, like the Ukrainian guy that like you know, his like apartment building, and like Peter like lives in one of the units, that is a very similar building that I grew up in. Very similar. There's buildings like that all over New York, and it always fascinated me how similar it was to the building that I grew up in. So it's very similar. And the thing is, my parents, how many was there? There was 4 units in total in the building. There was 2 units upstairs, 1 on the ground floor, and 1 on the lower floor. And my parents lived in 1 unit, and they rented out the other 3 units. And about the other 3 units is they had drama. Like, there was neighbors that would argue with each other, drama constantly, you know, getting into, you know, arguments, you know, screaming at each other, yelling at each other. And it took a toll on my parents' mental health having to deal with that, because some of the neighbors were just so annoying, and they were so toxic. And when my parents interviewed them the first time, they didn't seem like they would be toxic people, but they just became toxic over time. And it was and it's just the reason that I'm just hesitant on like getting into like duplexes and quadplexes and stuff like that is because what I'm generally scared of is I'm scared that I buy like a duplex, right, and I rent out the 2 units, and then what happens is the two neighbors that like live right next to each other because they live so close to each other, they get into some kind of argument, some kind of drama, and then they constantly keep calling me, and they expect me to be their therapist. That's generally what I'm scared of, is I don't want to deal with drama, and I don't want to deal with like, you know, people, you know, arguing with each other. I like to buy like a single family homes because at least there's some distance between, you know, neighbors. They're not right next to each other, but when they're right next to each other, there's a possibility of drama happening. Thank you, Cuck, if I'm reading your name correctly, thank you for the super chat. And thank you, Zach, also. Rent, yeah, like, and let me, you know what I'll do? I will probably do a Arena Wars match. People are asking me if I could do Arena Wars, so we'll do an Arena Wars match. But, Dicastinator, are you here still, by the way, Dicastinator? Do you understand, like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy that your duplex is, like, worked out for you, but that's just what I was scared of, is I was scared of this drama happening, personally. Can you change your thumbnail style? What do you mean, Slayer? What do you want me to change about them? When is the World at War play for later this month? Was writing policy agreement hard? The first 2 years of my rental property, I had companies that would create leases for me. But this year in 2024, I actually decided to create my own lease, and it wasn't actually that hard. Like I can't believe I paid companies to make leases for me. I feel so stupid now. But basically, there are websites that you can go online where they have like a service. And you will, basically what you will do is you'll look up, you know, how to make like a lease, you know, how to make a landlord lease. And what you will do is you will type in the state that you're in. So like whatever state you're in, let's say you're in Texas or, you know, Wyoming or, you know, California, that you will type in your specific state. And then what the website will do, what the service will do is they will create a lease for you based on the local laws in your state. And so it'll fit the lease in your state specifically. They'll ask you like a few questions, like what kind of property this is and stuff like that. But then it will it'll create the lease for you. You have to pay like a fee to create the lease, but it's much cheaper than like getting a company to do it for you. And then you send it over to you know, your tenants that sign by email, and you know that's pretty much it. Is just that. Let's do tag team, because I like tag team a lot. That's my favorite mode in Arena Wars. Let's do this one. Pro, on one of my recent videos, I got someone in the comment section spamming racial comments, and I had to remove them from the comments. Oh, I'm sorry about that happening to you, Golden Stripe. That's annoying. I've had idiots do that in my channel plenty. Three times money in Arena Wars. What's the difference between a duplex and a condo? A condo is usually in a... Oh, you... Come on. It's... A condo is usually in, like, a larger building, and when it's in a larger building, you know, it's just a single unit in a larger building, like, you know, a taller building. A duplex is, like, a building that's on the ground level, usually, and it's like, you know, it's like one ground apartment on the left side, one ground apartment on the right side. That's usually what it is. Why did you make fun of my brother for choosing philosophy? I wasn't making fun of my brother for choosing philosophy. I was more of just, it was like, look, if he wants to do, you know, philosophy and get a degree in philosophy, that's ultimately his choice. But what you don't understand about the story, here's what you don't understand, is, let me go to a close friend session. My half-brother is that type. My half-brother is that type of guy that would laugh at people for not going to college. So if you don't go to college, my half-brother would laugh at you. My half-brother would think that you're like an idiot and a loser for not going to college. Meanwhile, he himself got a 4-year degree from philosophy, and he couldn't find a job anywhere. And then all he did was complain and he couldn't find a job. So he would look down on people and he would call people stupid for not going to college, but meanwhile, he himself got a 4-year degree from philosophy and then kept complaining that he couldn't find a job anywhere. So that's basically the point that I was getting at with my half-brother. I wasn't trying to make fun of him. I don't even have a good relationship with him. I haven't talked to him in years. But that was, that's basically what I was getting at, is that he's, you know, very narcissistic, is, you know, he'd make fun of people for not going to college, but then he himself went 4 years in philosophy, and he couldn't find a job anywhere. What is it? Fourplexes suck, too much drama side by side. Duplex can work out nice. Have a home and a rental. No business partner. State landlord group has good legal papers. Okay, Dicastinator. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the advice, man. Thanks, man. You know what I really want to, you know what did I go to college? I went to college for a bachelor's in law enforcement technology. That's what I did. Okay, I won't skip the credits, Phoenix. Yeah, this is the last year for GTA 5. Okay, hang on. Wait, what did I do here? Play job. Rockstar created Arena Wars. Oh, I missed a few super chats. I'm sorry. Let me see. I apologize. Am I still doing Watch Dogs Bad Blood? Yes, Captain. I just don't know when, but before the end of the year, I'll do it. I'm sorry, I just don't know when, but I'll do it. Can we chat in a PSN party later? Yeah, we could, Own Titan, but if I'm gonna have some dinner after the stream tonight, and then maybe we could chat. And if we don't get the chance to chat, just message me tomorrow, and I promise I'll join a party with you. Is everything okay also, Own Titan? Okay. How many rounds can you do this on? Let's do 3 rounds. We're gonna do the mega big thing here. I don't know what I'll have for dinner. Probably soup, actually. Yeah, because I have soup in the fridge still, so I'll probably have that. Oh, Von Karma was much worse than Lena. But what I want to do you know what I wanted to do, guys? What I wanted to do is I wanted to start up a vending machine business. That's what I really wanted to do, and I think I can do it. I've watched so many videos on it, and I've looked up so many things on it. I think I can do it. But the only thing I'm scared of with vending machine businesses is I'm scared of not being able to find a location. That's just what I'm scared of. But you know, you can find vending machines for, you know, Facebook Marketplace for like cash prices, cash discounts. And then what you can do is you call up a few businesses, ask them if they, you know, want, like, maybe like soda vending machines, like snack vending machines, and it's like, you know, place them around my town and stuff like that, and like collect, you know, money from them, you know, that's just refill them with stuff from Costco and stuff like that, you know, that, because vending machine business is a business anyone can start, really, when you think about it. It's like probably it's probably the most affordable business that I can think of that anyone can start. In the UK, we have a national health service called the NHS. What is healthcare like in the States? Adversary outfits? What? Here we go. About healthcare in the United States, we don't have anything like the NHS. Our healthcare is entirely private. There's very little to no public healthcare, and you need insurance for everything. Okay, here we go. This should be a very interesting match to play. Good thing that we can fill up Arena Wars, for once. Yeah, we can play a match here. Oh, I'm being tagged in? Okay. Crap, okay. I sound like what? Darth Vader? Wait, what? Oh, the game is muted. Okay. Okay. Thank you, amateur. And what do you mean, amateur? There really isn't much. It's just a reboot of the same character. I think I'm glitched here. My breathing is awkward. Oh.
That drone just gave the old stun gun treatment.
What do you mean, Orion? Oh, the game was muted. I'm sorry. I can't do anything here right now. I'm glitched. Yeah, I think I'm glitched here. Me and my half-brother share the same dad, but we don't share the same mom. Well, the master thing in Metal Gear Solid is I wasn't, I was expecting he was manipulating you, but I didn't think he was liquid.
Al, it looks like the traps are all set. Spectator ready to fire them off. Whoa, my favorite part, the machine gun turrets. We've got a switch out in progress. There's a fresh face. Let's see how long they last. Toy car in the arena.
How do you play tag team? You tag people in. When you're about to, when you think you're about to die, you go back to the pit, and then somebody else tags you in. But I can't do anything right now. I think I'm glitched. Yeah, I think I'm glitched here. Surprised this glitch still isn't fixed. What advice do I have to avoid scammers? Take everything with a grain of salt. When people are, you know, if you think something's too good to be true, it usually is. Have I ever been to Canada? No. Never been to Canada.
There's the signal. Contestants can tag out if they like.
Yeah, I can't tag anyone in right now. Yeah, objective is to eliminate enemy team. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark. This is my favorite mode in Arena Wars. Are you guys also glitched out? Can you guys do anything also? You guys glitched too? Because I can't do anything. I can't spawn anything.
Those machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter.
I can't even stand up.
This is great.
Oh, I gotta wait 3 minutes here, Dad. I hate being glitched in this mode.
Someone is about to get mowed down.
I will go to Canada just to slap Trudeau. What? Just followed you on PSN. Oh, thank you. Well, it doesn't. A car is a car. All it, you know, it's just a place to get you from point A to point B. Thank you, Logan, for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. Hey, dude, I'm a big fan. Love the suit. Thank you, Stormbringer. Thanks, man.
Machine gun turrets. And that player is fried like bacon.
Damn.
New blood coming in. This could change the competition.
What keeps you retained to play GTA nowadays? Because I play it every once a week. And I think that playing GTA once a week is a great way not to get burnt out from the game.
Oh, this should be fun. Gun power online. Looks like we're switching players.
My favorite game of all time is Saints Row 2.
There's a fresh face. Let's see how long they last. Those traps are armed, Al, and somebody's getting screwed. What's that tiny car doing out there? And the bandito laying some tiny explosives.
Hey, Professional, I'm a big fan of you. You're my inspiration like that. Other video you made, college, is not always worth it for some people. For me, I want to trade, I want to trade. Wish me luck. You want to go to trade school, you mean, Sammy? Well, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I wish you luck, and, thank you for the super chat, man. Thanks, man.
Those machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter. I'm like a rapper in here. This is great.
No, I haven't, Jonathan. What do they do on that channel? Maybe Lexi. I guess we'll see just how long this one goes for. Maybe some soup with beef. You're a huge sweat in Arena Wars? How do you pronounce Wrocław? Wrocław.
Wow, my favorite part, the machine gun turrets. And just like that, we're heading into sudden death. It's about to get dramatic.
I still can't get up. Well, Arena Wars was a letdown because it was too expensive and it made you too little money. But if the payouts were better and wasn't as you know, and it wasn't as expensive, it would have been better. I know that game, Gunner. I've heard of it. Damn, I'm getting glitched here. It's annoying. Is there anybody else in the arena right now, or is it just one car? Is it only one car in the arena right now? Is it really only one car in the arena? Seriously? Thank you, Sammy, for the super chat. Or thank you, Sammy, for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. What's your favorite part about your community? I would say my favorite part about my community is that no matter what game I play, people will come to it and support me. And so I'll see, generally positive comments on, every game that I play. Do we have to seriously wait for 3 minutes like this now, too? What's your comment, Phoenix? You were talking about Deep Throat, right? Yep. Former Vietnam veteran Navy who had training as a sniper, prostate cancer survivor as well, you've watched him playing Battlefield or Sniper Elite as a sniper, you would be wowed. Wait, what are you talking about, Jonathan? Watch the Shy and Gif Gus Poison train surfing videos. What are those? Vertigo? Thank you for the super chat. Oh, that one, Jonathan. Okay. Put remote in docking station. Sopranos reference.
Drone strike, ethical or not, that was cool.
Okay, that was ridiculous. Guys, if it glitches me out like that again, where I'm gonna be stuck, I'm just gonna leave the session. I'm just letting everyone know, just ahead of time here. If it glitches me out again, I'll just leave the session.
Okay.
Playing games, maybe, you know, surfing the internet, you know, working out. I'm a pretty boring guy. I don't really do a lot of stuff.
Arena war starts now. Attack of the drones. Here they come. What's this? Looks like we have a spectator-controlled RC car out there. Those machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter. I'd like a rapper in here. This is great. Zappo! You like a little jumper cable in the face, huh? Nice EMP here. Al, it looks like the traps are all set. Spectator ready to fire them off. Tiny car, tiny minds. Careful. Ow, a little shock to the system. Battle drone hits with an EMP. God, I bet their pants are soiled now. New blood coming in. This could change the competition. Oh, that car was flat. Can't go up against a monster truck. Uh-oh, remote control cars could be trouble. And gun towers have opened up. Anyone feeling a bit beat up can now tag out. Looks like a spectator has a drone to cause some trouble. Look at that tiny car dropping mines. A fantastic monster truck smashing the little guy. Whoa, my favorite part, the machine gun turrets.
Crap, I think this is it for me here. Wow, oof. I got killed by electricity there. Took out 2 people, though.
Interesting. Oh, the bandito is dropping mines. That drone just gave the old stun gun treatment. Oh, and a nice kill by that.
Oh, I was... Okay.
Out on the field, folks. Machine gun fire incoming. Battle drone incoming. Oh, looks like the engine is gonna EMP shot hit that hard. Yowza! Remote control machine gun turret has arrived.
Oh, no, this is my teammate right here. What am I doing?
Oh, that player has been immobilized by EMP. Whoa, out of nowhere, drone strike. People that fly drones are assholes. Whoa, I don't think they're having dinner with mom after that turret kill. Oh, the pink team is out. They've been eliminated. Those machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter. I'd like a rapper in here. This is great. Oh, a spectator is causing trouble with a remote control car. Ow, a little shock to the system. Battle drone hits with an EMP. The spectator is in the machine gun turret.
I used to play this mode a bit, so I'm kind of used to it.
That's some good shoot. Zappo! You like a little jumper cable in the face, huh? Nice EMP hit. Drone, I love it. We've got a player manning the remote control machine gun turrets. Armed, Al, and somebody's... Watch out for the tiny mines. We've got a drone in the arena, flown by an angry spectator. Oh, drone is taking that one out with an EMP pulse. Oh man, death by turret.
Okay, there we go.
And the green team eliminated.
kill a lot of people already in this mode. There we go.
Down by a drone. Nice turret kill. The battle drone is out. Watch out, contenders. Oh, and we've got a player tagging out. Whoa, my favorite part. The machine gun turrets. Oh, looks like the engine has gone out. EMP shot hit that hard. Yowza. Control machine gun turret has arrived. Oh, David has just...
There we go. Yeah, maybe next time I could do some of those contact missions. I killed 5 people that round. Wow. A lot of people I killed that one. Okay, and if we win one more round, we'll win this. Are you worried about GTA 6 Online a little bit? I used to be really good with the drones and the turrets.
Think we'd have this many in the spectator box. Looks like a spectator has a drone to cause some trouble. Toy car in the arena. And a spectator is in the machine gun turrets. Oh, that player has been immobilized by EMP. I smell bacon. Now, it looks like the traps are all set. Spectator ready to fire them off. There's a fresh face. Let's see how long they last. We've got a player
Okay.
remote control machine gun turrets. And they are eliminated. Gone. Watch out on the field, folks. Machine gun fire incoming. Someone is going down. Contestants can now tag out. We've got a switch out in progress. Ow, a little shock to the system. Battle drone hits with an EMP. Those machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter. I'm like a rapper in here. This is great.
There we go. Okay.
My favorite.
Yeah, motorbike is bad because it can blow up really quick. In other modes, it's superior. But that's what's good about Arena Wars is that different vehicles are better in different modes. Gotta go out to put on a show. Oh, okay, I'll see you, Suspect 13. Take care, man.
Looks like we have a spectator control car out there. And from above, we've got a dead eye in the sky. Oh, drone is taking that one out with an EMP pulse. There's a Patriot
I'm being tagged in? Okay.
by a drone. Attack of the drones. Here they come. Oh, there goes the pink team. They did not do well.
Damn, okay.
Yowza! Remote control machine gun turret has arrived. Bye-bye! See you later! An amazing flip!
had to get my car fixed. That's the problem with this mode, is a lot of people don't tag in. That's the biggest mistake people make, is people don't tag in.
Having dinner with Mom after that turret kill. Oh, looks like someone needs a breather. Oh, that player
What the?
mobilized by
Oh.
EMP.
Aw, no.
In the machine gun turrets. Looks like a spectator has a drone. Uh-oh, remote control.
There's no turrets near them right there where they are? Okay.
Whoa, my favorite part, the machine gun turrets. And the sign is on. Looks like we're switching players. New blood coming in. This could change the competition.
Don't go on that gun. It's a bad idea when you're in the arena.
Nice EMP here. There's a patriotic kill. Down by a drone. We've got a player manning the remote control machine gun turrets. Oh man, death by turret. Looks like we've got the traps armed and a spectator on the button. My favorite. Death by drone. So manly.
Okay, 1 second, guys. Look at chat in a little bit. Just focused on winning this right now.
Machine gun turrets ought to cause a little slaughter. Kind of like a rapper. Battle drone incoming.
What?
Oh, you like a little jumper cable to the face, huh? Nice. Oh, this should be fun. Gun top. Whoa, my favorite part. The machine. Oh, death.
There we go. We win. How much money did we get? Ooh, 202,000. At least leveled up also in the arena. Yay, and I unlocked a vehicle mod that I'm not going to use. I would have to watch the anime if I ever play a game on it first. I was the betrayal that I got the most pissed at in a video game. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I got really pissed at Dimitri's betrayal, but Big Smoke's betrayal, I was just in shock. I was like, how could he do that? I probably won't use the Mega Buster because it's kind of cheap using it. Yes, I'll probably play the original DJ. When's the next Metal Gear video? Tomorrow, probably. The final one, probably tomorrow. People tell me there's only one part left. Well, if the Separatists won the Clone Wars, Palpatine would have a lot harder time building his empire. Yeah, he said that on the last part, Phoenix. Why? Does the helmet do anything, Stratos? Oh, the Nawali betrayal was just stupid. Oh, the Julius betrayal, I was really pissed about that, too. Yeah, I was pissed about Julius's betrayal, I was. I don't know. Maybe if I get time, I'll do Silent Hill 2 on near Halloween. I don't know.
Watch it, okay?
What's your first game that you've put a lot of hours in, you haven't played in a while? I put a lot of hours into DMZ in Modern Warfare 2, but I haven't played it in like a month or two now. I don't think that Sleeping Dogs is a GTA clone. It's more of a competitor. And in Sleeping Dogs, he plays a cop, which you never play as in the GTA games. So no, I don't think it's that. I think it's a competitor. I'll look into him, Jonathan. The worst San Andreas mission, yeah, I would say it's probably the, yeah, yeah, I would say the worst San Andreas mission probably has to be supply lines, but. Okay, guys, so I guess, you playing the PS2 Classics version of GTA, PS5 on San Andreas? Probably, yeah, that's probably what I'll play, Eric, yep. Okay, I just looked him up, yeah, I see his channel, he uploaded Sniper Elite, videos too, I see it now, yep. Okay, is it easy balancing content creation with life responsibilities? Kind of, because I, you know, I'm just, you know, yeah, I live by myself. I talk to my parents, but, there aren't really many things I do, but I have, usually it's a lot of projects that I'm doing at once, so, like, I don't have that many, like, you know, responsibilities or dealing, like, I help my parents, obviously, but, like, I live by myself, so I don't really have, you know, many responsibilities and stuff like that, so I have more time for content creation, but a lot of projects working on at once. I would say the most difficult is when I'm working on multiple playthroughs at once and trying to get a lore video, like, I'm trying to lower down the amount of playthroughs a little bit, but so many games have come out at the same time, so it's hard to do that. I'll play them one day, Hustler. I just don't know when I will, but I'll play them one day. Favorite twist ending in a movie? I can't really think of one right now, Raccoon. Yeah, I don't know if I can think of one. Yeah, my father was a bit sympathetic. My father told me I should have quit. I should have listened to him earlier. That retail job was toxic. Thanks, Professional. You're the best. I love watching you every time for 3 years straight. You're one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. Take care, my friend. Thank you, Sammy. Your university is stressing me out. Too much work. It can be. Depends on what degree you're going for. But maybe what you could do, Eddie, is maybe you could do a semester where you do like 1 or 2 less classes. I mean, it might take a little more time to graduate, but you won't have as much workload. That's also something you could do. I don't know, Tarian. I want to get 100% completion in GTA 5. I just don't know when I'll go around doing that. But I guess I'll be going here, guys. If they arrested Palpatine... Well, if they arrested Palpatine, then... I wonder how the Clone Wars would have ended, because the Separatists wouldn't have given up. Who would win in a fight, Wei Shen or Aiden Pierce? Aiden Pierce, because Aiden just has so much more technology available to him. I love your videos on Dead Rising. Thank you, man. And I still got more videos coming up. So I guess I'll be going here, guys. thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.